Now keep your texts and comments coming in 083 3333 975, or you can call Audrey on 051 846 123. We're going to be doing our Christmas cracker competition courtesy of Mulligan's Pharmacy in a few minutes. Firstly, we're going to go straight to Kieran O'Neill. Good morning, Kieran.
Good morning, Damien. How are you?
Good, thank you. Kieran, you were on the programme the other day. We were talking about the legislation being brought in and being spoken about in the Dáil and the Oireachtas this week regarding gambling, and also bingo was being lumped in with this. There's an update in terms of what happened last night to a number of amendments were put in place to the proposed legislation. Can you explain, please, what the amendments are and how they're going to affect what your campaign is to effectively save bingo? You're involved, obviously, with the bingo up at the forum. Can you explain what the amendments are, please, Kieran?
Yes, the Dáil met yesterday and had a vote, and for my sins, Damien, I watched 4 hours of Oireachtas TV last night, and all about gaming, and in particular bingo.
And was that exciting? It was?
That is not the word I would use, but I don't think I can use the word on radio.
4 hours you'll never get back in your life again.
I actually said that. But anyway, the upshot of it was, when it came to, because of all the protesting, which did strike a chord and got a lot of media attention, our biggest bugbear of the new legislation was that it was putting a maximum of 50% that could be paid out in prize money, when we pay out at the moment anything between 75 and 85% per night. So after 4 hours of debate, they decided that what they were going to do is they were going to change it, and what they were going to do is they were going to make that 50% up to 75%. So they did. That did actually pass last night, and it means now that it's going to go to the Shannon most probably next week. It was the Sinn Féin TD, Martin Kenny, that proposed it, and I have to thank David Cullinan, who introduced me to him, and I put our case that this should be increased, and he is the one that actually proposed it. It was seconded by Dennis Naughton, and so they did increase it, and that is now in the bill.
And is this going to be enough of a change, Kieran?
Well, what it does is safeguards the prize money. So it means the prize money will not change, and that is not an issue now. The only problem what they've done is they have put that a minimum of 25% goes to the charity. So there's a little problem that if you give 75% in prize money and you give 25% to charity, that's 100% of the take. So how do you pay wages, light, heat, rates, insurance, the books, all that? So it is. There's still a quagmire there that we have to get over. I am happy that it will let us continue. I am happy that the threat to us closing down is now gone. But we are going to have to get some really good legal advice to find how we can still operate within it. It's like, to be honest with you, it's clear as mud now, in that if they say that 25% is allowed to an operator, 25% goes to the charity, and you pay out 75%, that's 125% of the take.
Yeah.
So, someone didn't do the maths.
Now, you can still propose amendments at the Shannon, can you?
I'm not sure about that, but one thing that I do know is that, unlike the 1956 Act, the Minister put in the Act, this new bill, that under ministerial order he can change the amounts, and so under statutory instrument. So that means that it doesn't have to be a whole new law again. So in the 1956 Act, like I was saying to you on Tuesday, when they changed the thing from the old 3 cent, let's say, equivalent for playing machines, they could never change that because it would have had to go to the Dáil. But now they can change these amounts. So where he has it at the moment that these are the percentages and they're fixed in the Act as they agreed last night, he could in fact under ministerial order change that. So what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to have a meeting with them. We don't know when this will come into law, because even though it passed the Dáil last night and might go to the Shannon next week, he has to sign it into law, and then the licence we're operating on at the present will continue on for the next year anyway, and it's only after that. So we have a bit of time, Damien, to work on it, and it means, like, I was hoping that this issue would be cleared and it would be finished and all that. The thing I'm delighted with is that the threat to us, which we could not have cut our prize money. If we had cut our prize money, we would be closed, because people aren't going to come and play the same money in to play for less for half the money. They're just not going to do that. So that immediate threat is gone.
Yeah.
That was my main concern, and I'm delighted. And Damien, I would like to say thank you very much to anyone, especially anyone local here in Waterford that signed the petition, or anyone contacted their TDs, and that. And the one that I have to give mention to is David Cullinan for us. I contacted all the TDs, but he's the one that actually took hold of the ball and did something about it, and I want to thank him for that.
There's also exemptions for smaller groups. So, for example, Tallow Community Centre, Passage Community Centre, so different community groups, they don't have to pay a certain percentage of their winnings to charity. Is that right?
And this is one of the things we're looking at as well, because there's a permit, it's a new one thing called a lottery permit instead of a lottery licence. We operate under a lottery licence at the moment, but a lottery permit is if you give up to 5,000 in a night, you can use that. So we're looking at this, and to be honest with you, is the next thing we have to do is we have to get good legal advice. And I would say barristers are going to make a few bob over this now, and we're going to have to see what the implications are on it, But as I said to you, our main thing we were really worried about last week when this all blew up is that if we had to cut the prize money, people would stop coming, and that would be the end of it. That thread is now gone, and thankfully for that sense has been seen in that, because that was absolutely madness. I mean, when have you ever heard of a situation where people want to give more but were told they couldn't, And that was the situation, because we can't change the model we have, in the sense that if you give something, you can't say to people, then we're cutting it, but you're going to charge the same price, People just wouldn't wear that. So at least that threat is gone now, but it's still not, there's still a lot of legal bits that have to be gone into, I am sure we'll get around and we'll work it. Their intention was never to close bingo, and I even said that last Tuesday when I was on air with you. I don't think this was unintended consequences. I think he's honourable in what he's trying to do, but I think he just caught us in it, mainly by mistake, really.
Okay. Kieran, thanks very much, and continued success, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thanks for your support on it. I do appreciate it.
More than welcome there. Kieran O'Neill, thank you very much. Now we are going to go to Francie. I think, are you there, Francie? Francis. Hello, Francis. How are you?
Yeah. Good, thank you. Good.
Thanks very much for joining us. Francis Higgins, are you living in Clonard Park in Ballybeg?
Yeah, 51 Clonard Park in Ballybeg, yeah.
How are you? Where are you this morning? Are you in town or are you around?
I'm just sitting in the car waiting for my daughter to come from the doctor. She's just in the doctor, and I'm just sitting in the car waiting for her. I just had a cup of tea in the fair,
Well, I hope she's well, and thanks very much for texting us in. You texted Mulligan's Christmas cracker, so you are our winner today.
Right.
So what we're going to do is I want you to call out a number between 1 and 12. This is the 12 Days of Christmas, perfect Christmas gift from Mulligan's, and call out a number between 1 and 12, and we have the different crackers, as they say, here on the computer, and I'll click on whichever number you say.
Right. I'll go for number 9.
Number 9, your lucky number, is it?
Yeah. That's my birthday.
Your birthday, lovely. Okay, we'll go for number 9, and we'll just crack the cracker here. Okay, and the prize that comes up now, you've won a Be Bold Illuminator brush and tan set. How are you on the tanning, Francis?
Good. Yeah.
Great. You'll get use out of that, or somebody will get use out of it, will they?
Yeah, they will, of course. Yes, they will, yes.
That's great. And tell us, have you got any of the Christmas shopping done yet?
Well, I had most of it, nearly there with it now, most of it, yeah.
Fair play to you.
Get it done early before all the heavy rain comes.
Listen, congratulations, Francis. Thanks very much for winning, and Audrey will be back in touch with you about how to pick up the prize. Is that okay?
That's grand. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thanks very much, Francis. Francis there is our winner from Clonard Park in Ballybeg. Congratulations. Be Bold Illuminator Brush and Tan, and that is courtesy of Mulligan's Pharmacy. We'll have another Christmas cracker competition tomorrow. Coming up, we're going to be talking about all great things in Tramore with the fabulous festival. Now, welcome back to the programme. Linda, have you got all the Christmas shopping done?
I do. I'm very organised. Yes, I am.
No, don't say that.
Yes. We're a mother of 2 small girls and a full-time job and craziness. You have to be organised, Damien.
We're planning to do a piece, I don't know if it's going to be Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve, in town, programme, because I did a bit last year of men that do their shopping on Christmas Eve.
I was just going to say it'll be full of men.
Don't get me started.
I can start if you want.
Now, we'll talk to you in a second. Damien says, Anne, wondering if you could find out what's the situation, please, regarding street lighting in the city. I'm from Johns Park, Airport Road area of the city, and several lights aren't working, not for some time, making it very difficult for walkers and cyclists. And we will contact the council about that and see what they have to say. Thank you, everybody, for entering our Christmas cracker competition. We're going to have another one tomorrow. Nell Gyrey and family have texted in, wishing Dolores many happy years of healthy and happy retirement. Great customers we have been for many years and great memories. Damien, a novel idea for mortgage lenders in relation to struggling families at Christmas. How about the lenders letting those families off from paying the December payment, or at least deferring it for the next 12 months without penalty? People could apply via MABs. It's a lovely idea. The texter says they could show a bit of Christmas spirit. I don't think it's going to happen at this stage, but something like that would be fabulous. Damien, what happened in the People's Park yesterday? There was an incident. Don't believe it was involving any students, but the guards say that the person wasn't seriously injured in any way. Damien, fair chews to the bingo ladies and men. They stood up to Leo and the government. If beef farmers could use them in their fight against supermarkets and beef processors. Damien, I want to wish Dolores and all her team the very best in the future. I hope the John Martin site is not vacant for too long. It's a prime site. That is from Paul, and we will have that report coming up shortly. Firstly, we are going to talk to Linda Lawton. Linda, some great news about Tramore. This evening is the launching of the Enchanted Festival, is that right? Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, tonight we are launching the Tramore Christmas Festival. So we're going to run across 3 evenings, and there are a number of elements then outside as well that are happening, I suppose, aside from the chamber business, the Waterford Chamber stuff. But what's happening tonight? So we have the Snow Queen is going to arrive to her beautiful fairy house, which is at the top of Main Street outside Apache Pizza, and she's going to meet all the boys and girls. So all the boys and girls are more than welcome to come in their costumes, and I think we might even have Anna and Elsa there. And the Snow Queen will lead a parade down Main Street because they have to go and find Santa.
Okay.
So Santa is coming, and Santa will appear, and we have Councillor Jim Griffin will be there as well, obviously, our Deputy Metropolitan Mayor, and between the Snow Queen and Santa, they will be turning on the lights. So there'll be some musical performances. We have a big stage going up, and then Queen Street will also be closed because we have a Christmas market.
Lovely.
Which will run tonight as well. And then there's some other nice elements that have been included. So there's a fairy trail along Main Street for all the boys and girls to find the fairies in the window. I suppose that's where the chamber piece comes in, because we want people to take the time to walk along Main Street in Tramore, have a look at the businesses, shop locally this Christmas. And it's encouraging people just to stop at the window, have a look in and think, yeah, that might be a nice present for whoever in their family. We have, I suppose, one of my ones was because we obviously run the tourist office in Tramore, and we look out on the railway station every day, and yeah, it just looks so sad and lonely, even though obviously Aldi has now gone up behind it, it's a great day in Tramore today. Aldi is opening as well, but we're lighting it. So there's going to be a projector light on it for the whole of Christmas. So it's just another little element. Tramore Tidy Towns, who are fantastic, obviously, have done a light installation just there by Tramore AFC under the old bridge in the picnic area. As you say, the Enchanted Gardens are opening tomorrow night officially in Lafcadio Hearn Gardens. I know Murphy Larkin Timber Products have the Male Voice Choir on the 20th for in aid of Waterford Hospice. So there's loads of little things. There's the food fair, craft fair, or the food fair in Quishes on Saturday. So loads of different elements to the Tramore Christmas Festival. But the parades, I suppose, they're running tonight. They run on Friday the 13th and Friday the 20th. And we have local musical performances. So the 13th is Glorna Mara and Tramore Educate Together. And we have the Vicky Graham Stage School on the 20th. So it's all inclusive.
Fair play to you for remembering all of that with not one note in front of you. That's fabulous.
Well, I suppose when you're the one making the calls and giving the direction, you tend to remember everything. I just hope we've communicated enough to everybody else so they know.
Like your operations manager with Waterford Chamber, comprising the business, as you say, in Tramore. I go out to Tramore quite regularly. My young lad is involved in the boxing club out there and go for walks on the Strand and then up around the town centre, I suppose. Talking to some people locally, there's a really good buzz happening in Tramore.
Yes.
Seems to be a nice little pick-up going on. People talk about Waterford City and maybe could be more of a pick-up, and Dungarvan, people say, is going very well at the minute. There seems to be something happening in Tramore which is a bit different. It's a bit of a good pick-up.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I suppose, look, you're in a town that is a commuter town, but there is a core community there, and you have voluntary groups like Tidy Towns and so many others who do fantastic work because they care about the community. My kids are in school in the community in Tramore. You see people every Sunday morning out on the beach picking litter. There is a sense of pride in Tramore. And I think that in terms of business, there is a determination there. There is a very good offering there if you take the time to go and review what's there. I mean, you have boutiques like Satina, Red Lane, you have Bridal, and there are people coming from all over the country to these shops. So while we may not appreciate them on our doorstep, people around the country actually do. So many great food offerings as well, like Taste Tramore is
really
I mean,
well.
that's super. I mean, if you've Seagull Bakery, you've Meze, you've the V Bistro. I could go on when it comes to food, and it's not just your traditional food. So whatever your taste, there is something for you. I know that there is a new cafe after opening just across from the Sands Hotel. Obviously, the Sands Hotel is open. You've got Ranching.
The Sands Hotel is great to see.
It's great to see that back. You have a new pizza place opening right beside us at the tourist office on Monday, as far as I know. Obviously, Aldi is opening today. There is a buzz.
There is
a buzz, and I suppose really from our perspective, we just want all of the business community to engage with it, to roll with it, to benefit from it, and that's the idea, I suppose, behind having the 3 nights of the festival.
So the festival, as you say, 3 nights. Our Snow Queen tonight. Friday week and then Friday fortnight.
Exactly. So we have the
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock meeting at the Snow Queen and Snow Queen's house, and she will lead the parade. Santa obviously is way too busy for the Friday nights. It's getting very close to Christmas at that point, but that's okay. He's going to be there tonight and he's going to turn on all the lights.
So anybody in and around Tramore, anybody from around the area, anybody from the city, head out to Tramore tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. There are short road closures in place, so apologies for the inconvenience there. But it's Queen Street is where all the market is, so that's completely closed. Main Street will be on a kind of a rolling closure, so once the parade leaves, it'll open up behind it. So there shouldn't be too much disruption, but look, it's Christmas and there'll be lots of people around, so hopefully the businesses will benefit from it.
Linda, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Linda Lawton, Operations Manager with Waterford Chamber. Continued success to everybody in the Chamber and to all the businesses in Tramore over the Christmas.
Thank you, Damien.
Tonight, the young lad has boxing, so I'll drop out.
So you'll be out.
I'll drop out anyway.
Actually, you can pop into the library as well for the City Council are actually holding our Waterford City and County Council are holding a meeting about the urban renewal works. So there's a public drop-in meeting there for anybody that wants to drop in to see the plans and if they have any issues or anything like that. So that's running between 3 and 7 in the library in Tramore.
Thank you very much. Linda Lawton, thanks very much. We've got our report on John Martin Jewellers next. Now, still to come up, we're going to be talking to Jessica Murphy from Focus Ireland and Ben Nolan about the Big Deise Slepp Out, and also Tim O'Brien from the Irish Times about confusion on trains. Did you ever get your seat or your ticket confused or take somebody else's ticket? We'll be talking to Tim about his story. Firstly, we're going to talk about John Martin's Jewellers. It's one of the most famous jewellers, not only in Waterford but in the southeast. They have had people coming to their shop in the city over the years from South Kilkenny, from Wexford, from all over Waterford and from other places. Generations have been going to it. Now, Dolores has decided that she is going to be retiring. Can you please wish Dolores and all the staff all our best wishes from Anna and Olivia Chasty. Thanks, Damien. Great show. Thank you for the compliment. Mary Hickey just rang to say, loving what we're talking about this morning. May Hickey. Special call out to May Hickey. Thanks very much, May. Really appreciate your comments. So I went in to talk to Dolores. I caught her unawares and some of her staff there when I called in the other day to have a little chat with her. Sometimes it's the best way of doing things. And I spoke to Dolores about the emotion of the store closing down.
An emotional wreck.
There's people coming in, saying hello, saying...
The best customers in the country we have. They're just loyalty personified. What can I say? They're just... I didn't think we could be as emotional as what the shop is. It's amazing.
You're not going to start crying for me now,
no,
are you?
No, I'm not. The good... We're all after being crying.
The goodwill, Dolores.
Unbelievable. We've been through all the lovely stories in people's lives, their happy occasions, the communions, the confirmations, the engagements, the births of the kids. We've celebrated all the lovely occasions with everybody.
And to see people coming in whom you would have sold rings to their parents and maybe even grandparents and stuff.
The kids are coming in now. It's definitely time for me to go.
How difficult a decision was it?
It's good business. We're in a fantastic location, in a brilliant town with brilliant people. But my time is right for me to go. So hopefully someone will come out of the woodwork and take it on. But huge commitment and a lot of effort. But there is a good business here.
Tell us about the staff.
Staff, what can I say?
Now she's laughing. Who's that?
That's Joanne. Joanne, and Carolyn is with me the longest. She's with me 28 years. She's on her lunch break. Joanne is here next. She's here. How many years, Joanne? Years. We have a great team.
Yeah.
We're one big happy family in here. There's no bosses. Everyone, we work as a team.
You moved from the other...
Yeah, started in... George's Court. Took over from John, went to work for John Martin in 1987. The best boss in the world. Bought him out in 93. Interest rates were 18%. And the country took off and we were in the perfect location and we did very well. Then the jewellery world changed. Gold went through the roof and it became very brand orientated. So then we had to start having space to show brands. To get the brands, you had to show you had the other brands. They wanted them all displayed at a certain... And so by moving out here, they got it.
So as we can see, we've got Christina on that wall.
Nicky Lasoni, we have Links of London, Shodine, one of the brilliant Irish designers, and then we have our diamond section and gold section, and whatever you want, we have it.
What was the most expensive item you ever sold, can you remember? Or special items, any little memories now that will come up? So many, I say, to think.
There's loads of memories, and it's not always the most expensive item is the nicest sale.
Yeah.
It
could be something that means so much to somebody. Somebody has saved for so long for something.
Yes, and it makes no difference to us what's being spent. We treat everybody the same. Some of the nicest memories are the people. Definitely, like the loyalty of the Waterford people is second to none.
So are you saying that the name and the brand could well continue? Or I know we're closing down, you're closing down now. What date are we talking about?
We're going to be gone on definitely by the 23rd of December, because anyone in retail never gets Christmas Eve off. So all the girls are getting a Christmas Eve off before they move on to their next journey. So that's the plan. Hopefully someone will come. There's a few inquiries in the background, nothing definite. So hopefully, it's a beautiful shop. It's ready to walk in and, you could trade in the morning.
So the shop will stay, potentially?
I can't say for definite, but hopefully.
What are you going to do yourself?
I'm I'm going to put my feet up, rest
You're going to go on a cruise, they're saying.
Rest the weary legs.
Have you cruise booked, have you?
This day last week, I was out with friends last week and I said no way to a cruise ever. And I'm booked on a cruise with two very special friends.
What's their names?
Sharon and Sally Ann.
Where are you going?
We're going around the Met.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That'd be great. In February or summertime?
In April. Celebrating their 50th birthdays. I'm a lot older than them, but I'm celebrating their 50th.
You look great. You're healthy and fit, and do you know what I mean?
I'm going to be healthier and fitter.
Join the gym, is it?
Join the gym.
Pilates.
Pilates, you name it. I'm good. I'll try it.
Yeah. You're looking. Obviously, it's mixed emotions.
Mixed emotions.
The sadness of leaving, and yet it's a new start.
Yeah, that's it. Just to have the health to enjoy it now, and end of an era.
I know she's listening here, but what's she really like?
Oh my God, she's the nicest boss I've ever had in my life. And as my grandmother said, I'll never get a boss like it again. So that'll tell you what she's really like.
Special shout out to your granny. What's your granny's name?
Oh, Nanny May. She's everyone's nanny.
Where does Nanny May live?
In Water Street.
I'm Stoker's next.
But has it? It is sad, and it is sad, isn't it?
It is. It's very emotional. Yeah, we're after having a lot of tears and a lot of little emotional moments and outbursts. And when you even read through the Facebook comments, it's just lovely. But it's been very emotional. But we've been so busy the last couple of days now, there hasn't been time for many emotions. So I'm sure with the day we close the door, it's going to be very sad. So I'm kind of dreading that a little bit.
In the meantime, I think people are just seeing the bargains. So it's actually a happy occasion because we're giving back this side of Christmas to the people of Waterford. It's fantastic.
Who's that just got in there running?
That's Carlin.
And what are most people going to do? It's hard to know yet.
We're well trained. There's no fear of us. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, we are well trained.
There's the woodwork already.
This is it.
Yeah, so hopefully there'll be jobs for all of you.
Yeah, like Kate said, we're well trained. We'll have no bother.
And then there's a possibility that the place may reopen again under another. We're not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure. Hopefully that would be great.
Watch this space.
Yeah, we all love our jobs, so hopefully.
And having Christmas Eve off.
Oh my God, it's the dream. We're so excited to have Christmas Eve off. It's going to be great. Very excited.
What do you have to do between now and then? Does everything have to go, or what happens to stock?
Yeah, everything must go.
Really?
That's it, yes.
Wow.
I know, there's fantastic bargains, and I think people can see Dolores has fantastic taste, and it's easily seen. So, yeah.
Now here's a customer here. She wants to talk to me as well.
Oh my gosh.
What's your name?
Clodagh Duggan. I am a lifelong customer. Everything I have has come out of this shop.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that?
Dolores is just.
Look at the rings.
She's.
Tell me about these rings here. They're gorgeous.
So my wedding ring, my engagement ring, and a ring I bought for a significant birthday recently. But yeah, myself and my family, we're from Portlaw as well, where Dolores is from, and she's just known the world over for being so friendly and looking after everybody. And it's an absolute pleasure to come into the shop to deal with Dolores, Caroline, anytime you come in. We wouldn't go anywhere else.
She's blushing there now.
Yeah, we wouldn't. She's just amazing. And as I said, I work in the Whitfield, and when the news broke, it was the main topic of conversation that, did you hear John Martin's is closing? It was devastation. But that's because anyone who provides a good service, they'll be sorely missed. And I think Dolores and her team will be sorely missed here in Waterford. But I wish her the best. I think she's worked really, really hard over a long number of years on her feet. Never had a Christmas Eve off since she was what age? 17? Yeah. More or less.
Wow.
So I think she'll well deserve her 2 feet up on the cushion in this Christmas Eve.
And did you pop in specially to say hello, or are you looking for any bargains?
I did. I certainly am looking for plenty of bargains.
What are you looking for now in particular?
Oh, anything sparkly and a good deal, yeah. But and something, actually, I suppose, because it's so significant, I said I think I'll come in and look for something that I'll have, please God, until for a long number of years. I think it's always lovely to have something with memories. So I think whatever I purchase here today, I'll remember forevermore.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I got it.
To get something. Are other customers doing the same?
A lot of customers doing it, yeah.
coming in getting something.
Marking the end.
She's going to cry again, I think, is she?
It's hard, so emotional.
It's so emotional. A lot of emotions in John Martin's Jewellers this week and will be over the next 2 weeks. I want to wish Dolores and all the staff all the very best. And as you say, it's happy and sad times. Dolores has lots and lots of different things to do, and we want to wish Dolores the very best and everybody involved. There are loads of lovely texts coming in. Carol has texted, John Martin started in Michael Street over where the book centre was. I remember it because I went to school with Kathleen. Brendan texted in about a different matter. Damien just passed up the Vincent White Road. Great to see work commence on the old presentation ground. Would this be the start of a new housing estate? It'd be great if it was. And other texts in. Anna and Olivia Chasty, as I said, texted in to wish her all the very best. We are back with Tim O'Brien and also Jessica and Ben Nolan talking about the Big Deise Slepp Out. Now, thank you very much. We are going to be talking in a second to Jessica and Ben. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Firstly, we're going to go straight to Tim O'Brien. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Damien. How are you?
Good, thank you. Tim, you're an Irish Times journalist. Know you a good few years. It's good to talk to you again. You were on the Waterford to Dublin train this week and a strange thing happened. You're looking to find a particular student. Tell us the story, please.
I was, Damien. This is a terrible story and I feel really bad about it. I was on the 1:15 train from Houston Station on Tuesday. And it was my birthday, so I was being taken down to Kilkenny for a meal by my good lady wife. When we got on, the train was packed and there was a student sitting in my place. So I ordered him off immediately and sat down, you know. He went off and sat somewhere in the aisle or somewhere I didn't really particularly care about, as long as I was comfortable. But halfway down, we were halfway to Kilkenny, I think, when the ticket inspector arrives, dragging this poor miscreant student along with him, and started looking around under the seat for his ticket. And I said I couldn't help him in any way, kind of looking at the ticket inspector and thinking that if someone is bad enough to take my seat, he's probably making it up and travelling with no ticket at all. And, my attitude would have been flinging very roughly from a speeding train. Fortunately, the ticket inspector was nicer to him than that. They didn't find the ticket and they went away. But I know from travelling around the country myself recently, as a student, in fact, that the fine for not having your proper tickets and documentation is €120. While I'm trying to feel a little bit sorry for the student, he should have had a ticket, I kind of reckoned.
Yeah.
So I went off to Kilkenny. I had a lovely dinner, and I was outside of about the best part of a bottle of Pinot. When we went back to the train station, I put my hand in my pocket for my tickets. And I couldn't understand why I was staring down at a student ticket in my hand.
Oh, my God.
And I'm looking at it now as I'm speaking to you, Jamie, and it says, student single from Houston to Waterford.
So, effectively, you had his ticket and you want to find him to apologise.
Well, I want to apologise. I want to know if he was fined 120 quid, you know. I've talked to Barry Kenny in Erin Éireann about this, and he's been nice about it. He may refund the fine. If he doesn't, I will. But we can't have the guy being down 120 quid coming up to Christmas. It's
very magnanimous, very generous of you, and it's a lovely, lovely thought, Tim, and fair play to you for getting in touch, because a lot of other people wouldn't. They just bury their heads and say, oh, I don't want to, and fair play to you. And yet it's such a simple thing to happen. I'd say a lot of people are nodding, oh yeah, it's happened to me as well, or something like that has happened. It can happen very easily.
I'm still getting it at home, you know. Did you ever find that boy whose ticket you stole?
So remind me, what day was it?
It was Tuesday. It was the 1:15 train out of Houston.
Okay.
For Waterford. I was only going to
Kilkenny, yeah. So if anybody knows of a student who is currently walking around Waterford city or county or South Kilkenny, barefooted, maybe with a kind of a famine look about him, hair bedraggled, I'd say, that sort of, that'd be a good description at this stage, yeah?
He was, Nice, very nice guy. He was very polite all the time when I look back on it now, you know.
The poor little fecker, God love him. And was he tall, small? Any physical description?
He was about my height, which is kind of short-legged, about 5'6" or 7. He had light brown skin, kind of East Coast accent. And was lovely to both me and the ticket inspector and everyone. You know, I hope they didn't put him off.
Okay. Listen, Tim, we have your number. We'll get back in touch with you if we find them, but we'll put the call out. And listen, it's lovely to talk to you again, and happy Christmas to you and yours.
Thanks, Damien, and you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Tim. Tim O'Brien there from the Irish Times. So if you are that student, or if you know that student, please let us know. Please contact us, 083 333 975. Jessica Murphy, Focus Ireland, good morning.
Hi, Damien, how are you?
Good. I wonder if that poor student homeless now at the minute, 100.
I hope not. We have enough already.
Ben Nolan, music student. How's it going?
Not too bad, Damien.
In your Liverpool jersey?
Ah, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Everton let you win last night.
They did. Of course.
They were very kind if they did.
Tell us, this is the Big Deise Slepp Out taking place tomorrow night.
That's right, Damien. We have a lot happening at the moment. We have Ben and his fellow students singing in the WIT chapel this evening. Ben will tell you about that in a moment. And all donations from that event this evening, the students are very kindly donating to Focus Ireland. And a number of the students are going to come and sleep then in the Edmund Rice Centre with us tomorrow night. So our annual Big Deise Slepp Out is happening tomorrow evening in the Edmund Rice Centre. This is our 4th or 5th year. And at the moment, I have 70 or 80 hardy souls who have committed to come in and spend the night with us.
That's excellent.
It's excellent, yeah, it's great. People are amazing.
Ben, tell us about your involvement.
So I'm a music student at WIT, so I'm in second year at the moment. So one of our modules is called Arts Management. So we learn about all, the music industry, putting on concerts, events, this sort of thing. So as part of it, as part of one of our assignments, we look after organising our Christmas concert. So it's an annual link then that we have with Focus Ireland that we don't take an entry on the door. It's free entry, but there will be donations and a raffle and such. And all money raised will go towards Focus Ireland.
That's excellent. And tell us about the involvement, I suppose. Students, sometimes people say, they can be a cynical bunch, but there's a lot of students that get involved with Focus Ireland, with involvement such as this.
Yeah, so, obviously it's all about giving back, and, it's very obvious that there is, a crisis in Ireland at the moment. So, we are very happy to be involved and to be involved with Focus Ireland. And two of our students, two of my classmates, Brendan McCarthy and Rian Carty, they have offered and they are going to take part in the Sleep Out tomorrow. So, we're all there and we all want to give back and we all want to do something.
Almost 4,000 children will be homeless at Christmas. It's a problem that still hasn't been sorted.
It is, Damien. I suppose things like this really help Focus Ireland to get the funds together that we need to help the families that we help. In Waterford, we've been operating here for just over 20 years now. And in the first half of the year, we would have had over 400 families accessing our services. So, it's a real, there's over 240 or 250 families in emergency accommodation throughout the southeast. And, there's a large number of kids involved in that. The reasons for homelessness are wide and varied, but we've got a big problem when 10,000 people are homeless in our country in 2019, almost 2020, and 4,000 of those are children. And, the large percentage of those are little children. They belong to families. So, it's not adult homelessness with a couple of kids tagged along. It's families that are going to be homeless on Christmas morning. And then there's a large number within that 4,000, which will be youth homelessness, people coming out of state care or foster care, or they reach the age of 18 and where do they go from that point? So events like tonight or tomorrow night and the 70 or 80 people that are going to sleep out and all the people that are going to be involved in the choir tonight are all the things that help to make a really big difference, and it could make the difference for someone for this Christmas.
Remind us again then, what's happening tonight and where?
So tonight, the WIT BA Honours Music course with the Waterford Institute of Technology Orchestra, we are having our annual Christmas concert. It's going to be taking place in the chapel on the College Street campus. So there's going to be a range of ensembles performing tonight, from orchestra, traditional ensembles, gypsy jazz, and the choir, of course. And that's on tonight.
What time? 8 o'clock?
7.
7 o'clock. Yeah. Anybody can just go. Non-ticketed event.
It's free
entry, and then donations.
Will be towards Focus Ireland.
Sure, and I was just in there just before we came out to talk to you, Damien, and I heard them rehearsing, and it sounds pretty amazing.
I'd say it will be fabulous. It'll be great, and a lot of... What's gypsy jazz, by the way?
Gypsy jazz. So you have your regular jazz.
Peaky Blinders jazz, is it?
Gypsy jazz is kind of... It kind of has more kind of like Latin influences, and so instead of just having your standard jazz lineup with your guitars and your basses and that kind of thing, we have our Gypsy Jazz Ensemble has violin, it has concertina, so it's all.
There you go. Learn something.
All a bit different, but all a bit interesting.
You learn something new every day. A bit different and interesting. A bit like Matt Keane, our soccer correspondent. And tomorrow night, if people want to donate money, Jessica, what can they do? How can they help?
There's lots of ways to do it, Damien. Tomorrow night is the Big Deise, and I said I've 70 or 80 people coming to sleep out with us. A couple of those being students as well. They're coming from St. Paul's and the Mercy, which is amazing. So if you know someone doing it, donate to them.
Yes.
You can always contact me in Focus Ireland if you would like to give your own donation. That's no problem as well. If anyone's listening out there and the Big Deise Sleep Out's tomorrow night, and maybe it's not going to work out for you to do something like that, but Focus Ireland have a nationwide Christmas jumper campaign, which has been led out by Brendan Courtney for us this year, and that's calling on people to wear their Christmas jumpers to school or to work or wherever you're spending the day, and again make some donations to Focus Ireland, and we send it back into us. So if you would like to do the Christmas jumper day, get in contact with me as well. It's jessica.murphy@focusIreland.ie, and I'll send you out the posters and the balloons and all the things you need to do up your office or your school. So that's it. Yeah, there's lots of ways to get involved.
And tomorrow night, it's the Edmund Rice Centre?
Tomorrow night we're in the Edmund Rice Centre.
Starting at what
everyone
time?
will be coming in to register between 7:30 and 8 o'clock.
Nobody's going to get a wink of sleep.
Do you know, we did one a couple of weeks ago, and I did think that, and most people slept, and I even had to go around at 6:30 in the morning and wake some people up because we were ready to go home. Yeah, a couple snoring away. Yeah.
And a bit of fun.
Do you know what? There's lovely
camaraderie and
there's lovely
chat.
camaraderie and chat. It's a tough old night. What we're there to do is very stark and very real. But you'll get some nice happy chats and some sadder chats. But you'll certainly meet some very nice like-minded people who are wanting to do something before we head into the Christmas season. A little bit of mindfulness as to the couple of weeks that we're running into.
Jessica Murphy from Focus Ireland, Ben Nolan, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks,
good luck with tonight, good luck with tomorrow night, good luck with your studies, and good luck with the league title.
Oh, I hope so.
You have it won. Thank you, everybody, for all your texts and comments this morning. Thanks for entering our 2 competitions. We're going to have more competitions tomorrow and a lot more besides. Thanks to Julie for producing, Jessica and Ben and everybody involved in the Big Deise Sleep Out on the concert tonight. The very best of luck to you. Jeff is up next. We will talk to you tomorrow morning.